Look, Daddy, it's you. Let's go out to play, Daddy. More angels, Daddy! This way!
Get behind him! Come with us, little girl. You want some, big guy? Bigger than hard! Harder than hard! Get out of here, freak!
There we are. He's perfectly safe now. This is not your daughter. Do you understand? Her name is Eleanor, and she is mine. Now, kneel, please. Remove your helmet. Now, take the pistol. Place it against your head. Fire.
Lesson 1, mop jockeys. You are under the ocean now. If you feel the soft patter of rain on your hat, you're already fired. Lesson 2. You can jumpstart a dead generator with a direct spark, but clear the guests out of the pool first. Scares these rich pricks to watch a working stiff hurling thunderbolts. You follow me?
See? Incurable. Just like I said. Stay dead.
My daddy's smarter than Einstein. Stronger than Hercules. And like a fire with a snap of his finger. Are you as good as my daddy, mister? Not if you don't visit the gas.
My husband is such a perfect idiot. Throws away all his spending money on gene tonics to affect a look of physical fitness. So he'll have an excuse to sit on his rear all day listening to radio serials. Steven, I tell him, you want to be fit? Come swim laps with me, the old-fashioned way. It's your mind that's atrophying. Maybe I'll start sneaking some brain boost into his daily regimen.
Daddy was sleeping for such a long time, and Eleanor has missed you. Find her and you'll be all better. Daddy!
false prophet were cast into the lake of fire, and all the birds were filled with their flesh.
Oh, you'll love this. Just adore it. Fire is far beyond your means.
At last, a signal. You, who are bringing this dead city to life, listen. My name, it is Tannenbaum. I know who you are, and I am in much need of your help. Please, find me in the Atlantic Express train station. To my daughter, Eleanor, soon you will be born, and Rapture will be your home. You shall be raised as I was, to advance the common good through social psychiatry. This city's potential is immeasurable, Eleanor, yet our beliefs are unwelcome here. Life will be difficult, but the price of revolution is always dear. If we are patient with her, Rapture will come to us.
Taste of Adam in me.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb with a message for the people. Remember, you are not alone. Think of me not as leader, but as mother to the Rapture family. I am back in Rapture after so many years. The little ones I rescued are grown up and think of me no more. After what I once did to them, it was a joy to be forgotten. But now, all around the world, children vanish by the sea, kidnapped. And so I return, in fear of what I already know. Someone is making new little ones, continuing my work, my sins. Even if I am to die for it, I must stop them.
What I'm going. I hope it was a fun night.
Barely made it down alive. But here it is. And it's real. Rapture. This is where that thing took my poor baby girl. From what I saw in the sub, most of the city's in ruins. But there were lights here and there, and shapes moving. I'm rambling, scared, I guess. But maybe, if I find this Dr. Lamb I keep hearing over the PA, I'll find Cindy too.
Big sister doesn't want you playing with me.
Diane insisted that we spend a weekend at the Adonis. And already I find myself seeking a respite from my vacation. She deems it necessary to chide me for working. The words dissolve into an endless animal bleat. I founded Rapture to be free of law and God, to live among those for whom work is our wage. Yet, when Diane speaks of bearing my child, I am given pause. Till now I had never considered my legacy. Perhaps after the new year.
In that suit, even the ocean cannot harm you. This is good. But Rapture is the death of many great men. Alone, you will not last long. You can still reach the train station. Find me there.
Ah, Herr Delta. You arrive, as the little one said you would. Come upstairs to the ticket booth, and I will offer what I know of you.
Open up, Dom! Hello! I'll take 3 this time. You understand that? 3.
Now most who survive are like this. Splicers. They're drug addicts. Vicious animals.
I mean, I can wait. I'll wait.
This is Dr. Sophia Lamb. Andrew Ryan is dead, but the tyrant dwells within us all. Remember, we reject the gene. We reject the self. We reject the tyrant.
I'm told that the people grow tense and isolated in the absence of the sun. Now they clamor for a psychiatrist. Do they miss the state censor, I wonder? Wartime seizure of private assets? Or the checkup police vanishing them in the night? Regardless, this Lamb woman is said to be the foremost practitioner in her field. Fine. can quiet the rattling of the great chain's weakest links, I will leave her to it.
I know you. That symbol on your hand marks you a dead man. 10 years, Subject Delta, since I watched you put a gun to your head and pull the trigger. But take heart. Out of your pain, paradise was born. I don't know how you survived, but your suffering is over now. These men will ease your burden. Please understand that like all I have done, this is an act of love.
It is Sophia Lamb. She has found you.
That won't save you.
Now you know of the enemy we share, Sophia Lamb. The camera in your helmet allows me to watch through your eyes and help you to fight her. Careful, security cameras belong to Lamb. But if you are clever, they can be made to serve you.
Who is that?
What? Who is it? You sick bastard!
Yes.
Father, it's me, Eleanor. I know you're awake in there. I can feel it. Mother won't be able to toy with you like that ever again. This plasmid is for you. If I'm right, you can use it now. Please, find me.
Objects at foes. You can even catch grenades and throw them back.
topside now, eyeballing with all the scarecast girls. If anybody
Here's an article about
There would be no Rapture without me. No city without the Atlantic Express. Ryan took his first grand tour on my flagship coach. But these days, personal bathyspheres are all the rage. My rails only connect the oldest parts of Rapture now. And the city's just left me behind. Plenty of cash in the bank, though. This private vehicle craze will blow over soon. These people are hooked on some kind of genetic wonder drug called Adam. I've read the word...
Sophia Lamb is using the splicers against you. Most big daddies are like her slaves, guarding the little ones. But someone has awakened you.
These people are hooked on some kind of genetic wonder drug called Adam. I've read the word splicer scribbled on walls like a warning. One of them cornered me and Christ, his face. I had a gun, but I choked.
I know of your bond with Eleanor Delta. To save yourself, you will come for her. But Eleanor has a destiny. One you cannot share. There is no place for you in paradise.
These people are hooked on some kind of genetic wonder drug called Adam. I've read the word splicer scribbled on walls like a warning. One of them cornered me and Christ, his face. I had a gun, but I choked. And then out of nowhere, we both heard this singing. And he took off like hell on wheels. It sounded like a kid. A little girl. Cindy's alive. I know it in my gut.
White is not black, Dr. Lamb. Down is not up, and straw is not gold. Look around you. Rapture is no miracle. It is a product of reason. Impossible unless 1 and 1 are 2, and A equates to A.
And yet, alone, each man is a prisoner to bias, dream, delusion, or the pain of a phantom limb. To one man, they are as real as rain. Reality is consensus, and the people are losing faith. Take a walk, Andrew. It is raining in Rapture, and you have simply chosen not to notice.
Welcome to the circus of
In ethical psychiatry, we must account for the role of evolution. Depression, fits of panic, sexual pathos, all responses to ancient selection pressure. The irony is that this theory is why Ryan's people invited me here. They mistake my study of natural law for the worship of competition. Remember, Eleanor, one must know the beast before it can be slain. Quickly, head for the elevator.
She's prettier now. Gotta smash myself. It's me!
Was to be your paradise. You grasped the so-called great chain of progress and pulled hard in your own interest. But then, the great chain snapped. Now paradise is dying, and you with her. But we are never alone. Live on, join the Rapture family, and be reborn. Look around, my friends. Rapture is a mass grave. Here lies the holy self. A budding Mozart rots beside a girl who might have surpassed Einstein. Those who survived the war still crave the Adam drug. Locked within ourselves, we were unfit for utopia.
Here is what the children tell me. You are a very old Big Daddy, bonded for life to a single little one. When you are apart for too long, your body begins to shut down like a coma. As long as the girl is in the rapture, you are trapped here as well. The name of your little one is Eleanor Lamb, daughter of Sophia. She is kept at Fontaine Futuristics on the other side of the city. You must go there and save her before it is too late.
Dr. Su Chong's death was a nasty blow to the Protector program, but I'm gradually settling into his role, picking up the slack that his carelessness left behind. We are gaining steam again, but I'm not satisfied. Yes, the Big Daddy defends the girl, but he is programmed only for the fight, like a sheepdog who wanders off unless a wolf is tearing at his flock. When no aggressor is present, he regards his little sister as he might a common houseplant. We need something more, something stronger, an unbreakable physiological bond.
Welcome to the circus of value! No refund, no return!
Who's there? You're the gift. Why they always go?
You see? This is why I must fight Sophia Lamb. She is using the new little ones for something. And I have returned to rescue them. If I do not, more children will die for my sins. And the Rapture nightmare will repeat forever. Now, we must talk.
Citizens of Rapture, this is Subject Delta. Behind that mask hides an enemy of the people, without soul or sympathy. It is a beast apart, and as family, we must tear out its jaw and drive it back into the sea.
Lamb will take this place apart to find you. Please hold back the splicers until we escape.
Thank you. Now I must leave you, and I am sorry for this. But there are others I must help before the city drowns. This man Sinclair, he is an ally, and will guide you to Eleanor. Goodbye, Herr Delta. And good luck.
Well, look at you. A bona fide knight in armor, complete with iron horse. The name's Augustus Sinclair, Sport, Esquire. Old Tannenbaum and I share an interest in the old Fontaine building, the very same place you'll find Eleanor Lamb. I think you and I can do business. Take the train to Ryan Amusements. I'll see you shortly.
Welcome to the Circus of Value!
Sophia Lamb has taken Rapture and is responsible for stealing children from the surface. Her splicers destroyed my submersible and forced me to run. But the ticket booth here is secure, and though I cannot trust him, Sinclair is a valuable ally. I have already rescued a few of the new little ones from Lamb. They all want to know how we will get home. I wish I had the right words for them.
Whoa there. Now better apply the brakes unless you're aiming to dash yourself against that glacier up ahead. As you can see, Chief, the station here's iced over. To reach Eleanor Lamb at Fontaine headquarters, we'll have to clear the way. Now, in order to melt that ice, you'll need a plasmid, like a handful of hellfire. We used to sell a fine old product called Incinerate in the amusement park up yonder. Go on and find a way in. I've already been on all the rides.
Eleanor is progressing brilliantly. My physical participation in her birth was minimized, of course. It is vital that I am unhindered by nature's crude bias. I will be, above all, her intellectual progenitor, loyal not to her, but to the people she will ultimately save. But I admit, it is with some measure of pride that I review her marks in standard intelligence tests. As an agent of our beliefs, she may surpass even me.
You think you're so funny? Let's fix your face!
You're a rare old model, son. Alpha series, I believe. Now, Rapture's full of scientific wonderments just like you. And if we can sell them to the world at my price, well, curing your condition ought to be a cakewalk. Once we find Eleanor, the sky's the limit.
I was hired to engineer a park the likes of which no man has seen. Now all I do is watch over it like a grizzled sheepdog. My first line of mechanical puppets made the children here cool with wonder. But Ryan thought my vision was immature. Antiquated, he said. This place could have been something magical. But instead, he turned it into a school. No, a cathedral. Dedicated to himself.
Can I come out to play again, Mr. B?
Jam dandy. That'll get you in the park. But buying Incinerate's gonna cost Adam. It's a sort of genetic goo that lets you rewrite whatever God gave you. The little sisters carry the stuff, as you may recall, so you'll need to locate one. I heard whispering near the El Dorado Lounge. Have a look.
Listen up! Choppers! Get yourselves hid! No fuck-ups this time! Daddy's home!
Welcome to Ryan Amusements. Insert your ticket now. Half price for children under 3.
I am Andrew Ryan. Welcome to Ryan Amusements. Please enjoy the park.
Andrew Ryan wakes one night while cruising the Atlantic in his steamliner, the Olympian. His sleep interrupted with a singular purpose. Here, he shouts to his crewmen as he wipes sleep from his eyes. Full stop. We begin building here. Refitted for heavy construction, the Olympian returns with a new cargo. A state-of-the-art submersible platform, nicknamed the Sinker, ferries supplies and workers to the sea floor, fathoms below. After initial supplies have been brought to the seafloor, the platform is permanently moored to sediment. Massive iron girders are sunk hundreds of feet into the rock and silt. Below the platform, engineers work to overcome obstacles such as diamond-hard rock, obstinate sea life, and unexpected camouflage.
Lost a pile of junk. You broke it. Edna, everything you touch turns to shit.
You're mean, Roger. It was probably your clumsy, fat hands that loused it up.
Typical broad. Stay away from things you don't know nothing.
Drop that at once. It's priceless.
Seems like everybody's on the go these days. Everybody but... You still haven't experienced Ryan Industries' new spring line of plasmids. Isn't it about time you got caught up? Evolve today.
We lost another of the Alpha Series protectors today in testing. Somewhere outside the city limits, he simply vanished. For these men, Rapture has no walls. We must find a method of conditioning them against abandonment of the Little Sisters. Something physical, possibly even lethal. The lab aides are starting to call them Big Daddies. Perhaps there's some genius to that. Bonded pairs, connected by a love that kills.
I love the kids in Miss Englert's third grade class, but boy, I had no idea what I was getting into. Volunteering to chaperone this New Year's sleepover party at Ryan Amusements. Donnie, get down off that exhibit, and I told you, spit out that gum! You'll choke! The kids' parents deserve a night off to enjoy New Year's, but I'm at my wit's end. Donnie, I told you!
After the platform is secured, work progresses at an astounding rate. Designed to be the foundation of Rapture, workers toil around the clock to create the metropolis you see today.
Your kind ain't welcome here. You won't listen.
Where are you? Heavenly shelter. Everyone, I hope you had fun. This is still my home. My heirloom. At least.
Believe me when I tell you, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes. Used to be, there was no margin in running the gift shop. I couldn't hardly sell off this tourist crap for a penny more than the cost of manufacture. Then I met a straight shooter named Sinclair, and he laid a sweet deal on me. Says he's got some hard luck folks down at Popper's Drop can whip up this junk at half the cost I used to pay. Yeah, I had to pick a needle or two out of the shipments, but all in all, nobody's the wiser, and I'm all the richer.
What's on my side?
Until you arrive, Father, I'm trapped here. Smuggling these gifts out is the most I can do to help.
In ethical psychiatry, we must account for...
Eleanor Lamb speaking. Mum says I'm not to play with the other children because they're being raised on a diet of dog-eat-dog. I wanted to see these dog-eaters, so I waited until Mum was gone and went out to find one. And guess what? The dog-eaters wear human skins. It makes them look just like us.
Now that Big Daddy won't bite until you do. But to get to Lil Sis, you gotta put the old boy down for good. Take a breath, son. You did it. Now, just let her ride on your shoulders and she'll trust you like her own daddy.
I'm telling the other...
We're in business. Now, there are corpses all over Rapture, and little Dimples there can sniff out the atom on them. Find one.
I found one of those children at last. Filthy dress, all alone. I approached her, praying that it was my little girl. But she was gorging herself on blood from a corpse. It wasn't her. I stared, just reeling. And then that skinny, armored freak that took Cindy jumped me, shrieking like an animal. I escaped, but could Cindy have become one of those things? I've got to find her, now more than ever.
Welcome to the circus of value.
No time to play, Mr. B. More Adam. Snowy Adam, Daddy? Over there.
I saw the heavens open. I saw them open. Oh, the beauty of the revelation.
Come on, Daddy. It's close.
She's got a juicy one, but when she starts draining out the atom, the splicers will come running. Be ready before you set her down on that body.
That is a child of the family, not a toy for you to exploit and discard. It is fitting that you expire here. One more forgotten curio in Ryan's shrine to the self.
Here they come. Keep the splicers off her now till she's finished, or they'll never give up the hunt.
Simple tete-a-tete to share our She's helpless! That child, you monster! But I'll not beg. I'm above it. I'll not beg.
Daddy, are you taking me home too?
Now you know the stakes, son. But a plasmid costs a bit more atom yet. Keep it up.
My lantern's lit. I'll find you. Absconding with an innocent. How could you?
Came back, huh? You're gonna hurt
It's this way.
Welcome to the circus of value.
Why, hello there. My name is Andrew Ryan. I built the city of Rapture for children just like you, because the world above had become unfit for us. But here, beneath the ocean, it is natural to wonder if the danger has passed. If those we left behind will ever come to their senses. So, let us imagine, you and I, what might befall us on the surface.
I told you about this one. Make him listen.
You know you don't have a chance! Don't go! What is this?
Will you dance with me, Daddy?
Ridiculous!
Hey, come
Ridiculous!
That's all you got!
asleep. And now that the park is all quiet, I can't sleep myself. I guess it's just you and me, Mr. Voice Recorder. You, me, in 1959. I wonder what the new year will... What was that? Something's happened. The lights are going out. Kids, stay in your sleeping bags. It's gonna be fine.
Shall be
surface, the farmer tills the soil, trading the strength of his arm for a home and lands of his own. But the parasites say no. What was yours is ours. We are the state. We are gone. We demand our share. On the surface, the farmer tills the soil, trading the strength of his arm for a home and land of his own. The parasites say no. What was yours is ours. We are the state. We are gone. We demand our share.
See? Adam is here.
Hand me that child, now!
Lamb is becoming a problem. The woman is a damned collectivist. Here in Rapture, how could the council fail to see it? Worse, to hide her intent, she gulls these patients of hers into a religious frenzy. The new Kremlin will rise and swallow the council house before they realize they've been had. I will not have my city swindled by the parasite. Whatever its guise, it is time, I think, to call Sinclair.
Here's the angel.
I've been rationing my supplies ever since the park got cut off from the rest of Rapture. Gotta stay strong. I'm holed up in this workshop, surrounded by those whaling brats, trying to beat their way in. They want my food, my guns. They want it all. But I got a plan. Gotta fix up the transport sub that's been rusting in the maintenance bay. Then I'm gonna get the hell out of this hole. These animals want Rapture? They can have it.
We have Adam, Daddy.
I do not hate you, Delta. Indeed, I care for you in equal measure to any other sentient creature. But I cannot sacrifice 1,000 of my children for one rebellious son.
This angel's all done. I'm always safe with Dad.
All right, Chief, we've almost got enough Adam now. To get the rest, you'll have to take care of that little sister. There should be one of the air vents they favor in the workshop. Bring her down there.
I've been rationing my supplies ever since the park got cut off from the rest of Rapture. Gotta stay strong. I'm holed up in this workshop, surrounded by those wailing brats, trying to beat their way in. They want my food, my guns. They want it all. But I got a plan. Gotta fix up the transport sub that's been rusting in the maintenance bay. Then I'm gonna get the hell out of this hole. These animals want Rapture? They can have it.
Rapture is a paradise of the ego, Eleanor. Under Ryan, the voices of an entire city sing the virtues of greed and pride. But truth, rather, is in the body. Already they grow weary of struggling against one another in fruitless competition. Observe the bent backs, the drawn faces. Ryan promised us more, they seem to say. In what shall we now believe? And Eleanor, it is our task to answer.
Parasite makes nothing for itself. Its only tools are taxes and tithes meant to trick you into offering what it has not earned. In Rapture, we keep what is ours. On the surface, the scientist invests the power of his mind in a single miraculous idea and naturally begins to rise above his fellows. But the parasites say no. Discovery must be regulated, it must be controlled, and finally, surrender. Strives to frame his ideals in an image, to challenge his audience and make his vision immortal. But the parasites say, no, your art must serve the cause. Your ideals endanger the people.
What do you want with her? What is this? The silent treatment? I want her more than Hey, we were just getting started! Hey, gotta stash myself! She ain't going to your house!
Now, Tannenbaum would have you turn that sister human again. You'll get just enough Adam for our purposes, and the girls will likely try to repay you somehow. But Rapture's a high-stakes town, son, and she is a jackpot. You just have to be willing to take it all. You'll harvest more Adam than the price of one plasmid, so the rest is gravy. Think about it. Down here, it's your survival or hers.
Almost home again, Daddy.
Thank you.
Well, our Tin Man had a heart all along. Personally, I call that a liability, but you have enough Adam now. Barely. Head to the Hall of the Future and splice up with Incinerate.
Welcome to the circus of... Welcome to the circus of value.
Get out of my home!
What do you want?
Oh, don't worry, darling. They'll be...
You brought this on yourself! Hey! Hey! Why do they all run? To the world of tomorrow we come. Young and old, come to watch all the wonders unfold, and the tune that we play is the dawn of a new day. Tell the world at the door that we don't want it round anymore. Better time here to stay as we live and laugh.
Lacking its own ingenuity, the parasite fears the visionary. What it cannot plagiarize, it seeks to censor. What it cannot regulate, it seeks to ban. Rapture was founded on an idea, and here they are held inviolate. On the surface, your parents sought a private life, using their great talents to provide for you. They learned to twist the lies of church and government, believing themselves masters of the system. But the parasites said, no! The child has a duty. He will go to war and die for the nation.
True friends stick by you through thick and thin. I suppose.
I met with Sinclair today of Sinclair Solutions. It's this pseudo-legal firm he set up to take problems Ryan doesn't want to admit he has and make them go away. I could fill 40 front pages of the Tribune with stories about this fella if he wasn't paying me not to. And he's got work for me, right? I ask what, and he flashes me these $1,000 Steinman teeth saying this job will, quote, change history.
Save me, or no!
Welcome to the circus of value!
2 weeks at my last count. 2 weeks since we were trapped in this rotten park. I haven't been eating. The children need all the supplies we've got left. Need them more than I do. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can feel myself getting weaker. The children have noticed the condition I'm in, of course. What will happen once I'm gone? They'll be all alone.
There must be something beyond, and the Lamb will show us the way. You shall be... What? Blasphemer!
Unable to provide for itself, the need of the parasite grows until war is made to justify it. Your parents brought you to Rapture, where you need never fear the parasites again. So you see, there is no place for you on the surface. But you may bring the world to you. If you know someone who belongs in Rapture, write a letter to the Ryan Industries mailroom, and you never know. The next new face might be familiar. I know this facility is vital to the preservation of secrecy in Rapture, but seeing myself transformed into that lurching, waxen nightmare, do children truly respond to this? Still, I spoke to a young man exiting the park after the grand opening, asking him what, if anything, he had learned here. He said his chores didn't seem so bad anymore, as long as Mother wouldn't send him to the surface.
Come on, choppers! Tear this place down!
You know what they do to vagrants in Rapture? They hang them. Ridiculous. Ridiculous! I hear a creaking of the floorboards.
Got a little dating tip for you, Jimbo. It'll get you out of that lonely hearts club for good. This scheme works 100% of the time, guaranteed. First, find some Betty and take her to Ryan Amusements. Then, you go to the gift shop, buy her a teddy bear. This is key. I ain't kidding around. Then, you buy her a ticket on Journey to the Surface. As soon as you hit that first scare, bingo! Tunnel of Love.
surface, the farmer tills the soil, trading the strength of his arm for a home and lands of his own. But the parasites say no. What was yours is ours. We're gone.
I do hope in eternity there will be time to pick Sophia's brain a bit.
Parasite makes nothing for itself. Its only tools are taxes. On the surface, the scientist invests the power of his
Someone in the hall?
The artist strives to frame his ideals in an image, to challenge his audience and make his vision immortal. But the parasites say, no. Your art must serve the cause. Your ideals endanger the people. Lacking its own ingenuity.
Stop trying to speak through me, Lord. You know I am not worthy of your grace. Please! A You're the gift! Aha!
Welcome to the circus of value.
On the surface, your parents sought a private life, using their great talents to provide for you. They learned to twist the lies of church and government, believing themselves masters
Can't
of the
save
system.
the likes of
The
you!
parasite said, no. As a duty, he will go to war and die for the
Welcome to the circus of value.
Unable to provide for itself, the need of the parasite grows until war. Why, hello My name is Andrew Ryan. I built the city of Rapture for children just like you, because the world above had been...
Come out from hiding, thief! You're not fit to grovel and lamb.
After initial supplies have been brought, the platform is permanently...
So, you would drain the people of their life's blood. Rapture is a body, Delta. I am the voice, and Big Sister is the hand. When Rapture speaks of you, it says only this. Sleep now. Your day is done.
Not if you don't visit the Gatherers.
Light up enemies to 1,000 degrees. Warning, fire spread.
Congratulations on your recent purchase of the incinerate plasmid. Say, Tom here is having a romantic evening with a gal. What would impress her more than lighting the fireplace with a snap of your fingers?
You made me hurt you!
Oh, a party. But this party just hit the skids. Carl needs a light for his cigar, and no one can help him.
Growing, many changes will be flowing. If you wanna be amazing, see the flowers we are raising.
Holy Moses, son. Not even a big sister can keep you down. Well, come on back and melt the ice and we can say goodbye to this 2-bit carny ride.
Huh?
Ryan saw the individual as a hero, a noble survivor. And Rapture was his paradise, a shrine to the supremacy of the self. The result? Slavery, genocide, chaos. Now that the tyrant is dead, we are a true collective, a single family.
He's gone. James was the only man I ever loved, and now it's like he never even came to Rapture. He heard me sing at the limbo room, came up all bashful. He liked hearing songs about what it's really like to live in this town. I think he's been trying to organize folks against Ryan. And now he's gone, and I'm here, singing Rise, Rapture, Rise. Scared to death they're gonna come for me.
Outstanding, sport. You're proving to be quite a windfall. Now just open the train tunnel from the security booth there, and I'll come out and jump on. I like to look a man in the eye when I give him my word. You and me, kid, we're going places.
I had thought you some golem of Sinclair's, brought here to hold Rapture's arms while he rifles through her pockets. But no, you are aware of your plight. Who, I wonder, would be so cruel to force a mirror on a man with no face?
Lamb was waiting for us. Come out shooting and start the train.
That's all you got?
is now trapped in Pauper's Drop. All railcar travel is suspended until he is found. Remember, the enemy is alone. We are the family.
Lamb's trying to box us in, kid. This is a goddamn citywide lockdown. To keep the train moving, you need the security override key from the local governor, Grace Holloway. She kicked me out of my own hotel down here, the Sinclair Deluxe. Find her and get that key.
That's my
I remember you, monster. You stole Eleanor from me. Twisted that baby girl into a thing so sick it can't even die. And now you come swanning into my neighborhood looking for me. Wrong turn, Tin Daddy. When we hang you from a street light and you choking out your last, I want you to remember my face.
Where are
handle it.
It's dancing, Daddy! Dancing!
This girl's tougher than you! Oh, shit!
This one has ammo.
Please, don't go! Oh!
What does all those sleeping angels? I do.
Family, that monster has taken another of our babies for his own. Tin Daddy is hollow like a jail cell that needs filling, and he will never let her go unless you hunt him down.
She's hurt! We'll take some beggars!
Are we gonna be together again, Daddy?
Religious rites, Doctor? You're free to kneel before whatever tribal fetish you favor in the comfort of your own home. But in Rapture, liberty is our only law. A man's only duty is to himself. To imply otherwise, therefore, is criminal.
Ask yourself, Andrew, what is your great chain of progress but a faith? The chain is a symbol for an irrational force guiding us towards ascension. No less mystic than the crucifixes you seize and burn.
My folks lived in the St. Louis Hooverville in 32, and the drop is worse by a mile. Nobody's supposed to live down here. City pissing on us. Never try. Ryan doesn't care, and Fontaine's a damn crook. But Dr. Lamb cares. We're still people to her. She's offering free mental counseling on Sundays. When I go, I get the feeling she's got a plan for Rapture. And for me.
Adam, Daddy! Over there!
What's this? She's gonna watch me do ya, son. Just you what? The end for you!
Oh, yes!
Here's the angel.
This is it. It's over. I built this railroad from nothing. Played by Mr. Ryan's rules. But then he asks me to sink my own cash reserves into the banks to give Rapture some breathing room. And now Austin goddamn bathysphere wants to buy me out. Decommission the entire rail. I have no family. And no time for friends. I am the Atlantic Express. This is the end of the line.
Here it is.
The monster has taken another of our children, family. He would turn her from us just as he did to Eleanor. Show this thing what befalls the boogeyman when he steps into our garden.
You leave me right like a good portfolio!
Daddy, doors and parties! Off the stage!
Right?
What's wrong, big boy? No talent! the best bed. Hack!
What do they expect? You keep enough drug stash in this clinic to slice up a rhinoceros. Of course every poor soul in the drop's gonna start beating down your door. It's my job to think up a new key code to keep them out. Seems like every other day now. Nuts. I'll mull it over for a while at the Fishbowl Diner.
Strictly own up to your punishment. Good riddance, you little nothing. This might find shelter. For Eleanor and her family.
Now, Eleanor, Mummy has to go away for a while. You shall be staying with Aunt Gracie.
Mummy, don't go.
Eleanor, you are better than that. Do you remember what I told you?
I am very special.
That's right. And what else?
I was born to change the world.
Yes. And when Mummy returns home, the world will be very different indeed. She will make it ready for you.
Another day, no clients. Atlas and Ryan start going at it hot and heavy, and all my business dries up. Used to be easy. Put the eye on some spliced up dame's wandering husband and rake in the dough. Now it's got so bad I had to put my camera and hawk at King Pawn. Makes a guy consider splicing up himself. If I had 2 dimes to rub together, that is.
That thing's a miracle in Technicolor, kid. Works like a movie camera. Start the film rolling before you open fire on a splicer, and then anything you hit him with tells you more about his DNA. Let's give it a dry run, shall we? Easy now. Looks like you got the jump on this fella. Start your camera recording him, then hit him with a little bit of everything. Plasmids, firearms, whatever you can dish out.
Give it to me. 3 little angels. All gone. I wonder.
Dr. Lamb, Sophia, I came down here to sing and to start a family, but I just don't fit with these people. Look at you. You fit with them.
Grace, in Ryan's rapture, I am the pariah. You and I share unpopular ideas, but I wonder, how devoted are you to the Rapture people? If you wish to know more, wear this butterfly brooch at our next session. If not, no harm done. We shall never speak of it again.
Nothing there. But we should bring the hounds in from the stables just the same.
You can't stand up to me!
You heartless brute!
Where's my mark? Wasn't part of the deal.
Wits on my side. deceiver! You defile the lamb! Why do you hide?
Old Papa's Drop's the worst neighborhood in Rapture, but it's a hell of an opportunity to raise up some affordable housing.
Piss off it.
When Atlantic Express was constructing their luxury passenger line...
Well, sport, I guess Gracie's home, but that big lug just dropped half my damn hotel in your way. Now, to break through that mess, I expect you're gonna have to work out how he got so burly. Since you already laid your hands on a genetic research camera, this next part will be easier. That's it, son. Camera spits out a prize once in a while as you learn what makes a splicer tick. Now, find one of those big old brutes and take him out on film. Before long, you'll be able to brush aside that mess at the hotel.
Old Papa's Drop's the worst neighborhood in Rapture, but it's a hell of an opportunity to raise up some affordable housing. When Atlantic Express was constructing their luxury passenger line, this place was hollowed out beneath as flop houses for the railway crew. Nobody was supposed to reside down here long term, but when you're broke in this town, you're not exactly swimming in alternatives. I don't favor spending more than an hour or so down here at a time. There ain't a side of the tracks more wrong than under 'em. Using that camera is a bit like telling a joke. Each time you tell it the same way, it gets a little more stale, so you gotta change it up to keep it fresh. Old Papa's Drop's the worst neighborhood in Rapture, but it's a hell of an opportunity to raise up some affordable housing. When Atlantic Express was constructing their luxury passenger line, this place was hollowed out beneath as flop houses for the railway crew. Nobody was supposed to reside down here long term, but when you're broke in this town, you're not exactly swimming in alternatives. I don't favor spending more than an hour or so down here at a time. There ain't a side of the tracks more wrong than under them. Using that camera is a bit like telling a joke. Each time you tell it the same way, it gets a little more stale, so you gotta change it up to keep it fresh.
This Lamb woman's powers of manipulation are almost scary. Her people are using the girls from the surface to gather Adam from Lamb's followers. It's in the blood. And eventually they give themselves over. Like dying is an honor. I'd almost feel sorry for them if they didn't have my daughter. I'm going to find Lamb and take Cindy back one way or another.
Remember, son, without using that research camera, we can't get to Gracie, and that means we're stuck here. Get one of those big apes on film, then work him over.
Welcome to the circus of value.
It's newsman pay dirt. Sinclair says Ryan's making a move against Sophia Lamb.
There's one of those big goons now. Start your camera rolling on him, and then let him have it.
Some thoughts are just wrong. Nasty thoughts. Gotta stop them thoughts right out. No fear! Man to man!
I wonder.
Put a lid! No, fuck! Fight fair, you mully!
Look at you, sport. A regular junior shutterbug. And it appears you've picked up a new trick from that big galoot. Now get back to the Sinclair Deluxe and just bust through that mess blocking your way.
Welcome to the circus of value. Welcome to the circus of value. No refund.
Here, Father. It's yours. You are evolving fast, but your heart is getting weaker. I can keep you alive, but you
Hypnotize your foes. Laugh as they fight each other.
must find me.
Boy, help! You simply can't know what I'm going through. Get away from me! Rat blasted!
I'm out of here!
That's it. We have to close down the limbo. Bomb goes off in that fancy place uptown and everybody panics. Pulls their money out of the banks. A whole city tugging on the same dollar bill. So the banks fold. And maybe 1 in 10 got their savings out. Who's gonna come hear me nightingaling about how broke they are? How am I gonna provide for little Eleanor?
For Grace, the paradise of Andrew Ryan was most unkind. She spoke against him in song, and he had her blacklisted. It left her penniless. But in the family, she has found hope, a reason to draw breath. Ask yourself, Delta, do you deserve to take it from her?
Hearing rumors. Sounds like somebody named Wales is starting up worship services down in Siren Alley, believe it or not. All faiths and creeds welcome, they says. They got big promises, salvation, immortality, a way out of here. I don't care how crazy it sounds. A way out of rapture's music to my ears. Next Sunday morning, I'll be there.
Let me go first, Mr. Bubbles. I can hear the angels singing.
Welcome to the Circus of Value!
Adam, Daddy? Over there!
I'm not big. I'm above it. I'm not big. No use hiding. I know this estate like the back of my hand. Hand that child, you monster!
Adam, Daddy? Here!
A simple
Sunshine,
non-believer! You defiled the lamb!
Adam in your pocket,
At least read our pamphlet. Take it all. I'm not dignity. Ridiculous. Ridiculous! Hand me that child, now!
I can't stand that!
She's helpless!
He's nicer than other daddies.
The Tin Daddy is not a man. It is half dog and half devil, made by Andrew Ryan to condemn our children to a walking death.
Adam, Daddy! Over there! And so... See? Adam is near. Adam, Daddy, right here. Right here. See it glow? What is oversleeping angels? I do. I do.
Psycho case! Send your dog home!
This girl.
He belongs to me.
Run, that child, you monster! Yes, run!
Done here!
Angels remember, so we remind. I can't stand them! All done, Daddy. I'm telling the other girls that I have the best daddy.
I think I'll send her an introduction by post. Out from hiding, thief! Hand me that child! Now!
See you in the morning.
Mending my own clothes. Who'd have thought? Hello? Come out, you!
Do you remember what you told me, Bill? A marketplace of ideas. That was you. If I submit to the debates with Lamb, Reed, defying her, I've done so. And have you been to Pauper's Drop, Bill? Listen. Between each song, these Oblomovs hand out her manifesto. Her face adorns every wall. Saint Lamb. You made her, McDonough. And now, you will convince the council to sponsor her silence.
My home! Out!
You keep thinking. All you fucking shit. Yeah. You're in for it.
I hear a creaking of the floorboard.
Welcome to the Circus of Value.
Speak up.
And I've got my...
The Tin Daddy does not have a family of its own. It is a made thing, a creature without soul. It does not create. It does not love.
Clip your wings, young fella.
Acting? Well,
Push the road guy! This can't be right. Get up! Just left!
Enemies longer. Charge up to generate chain lightning.
Just rev up that drill of yours and slam right through that pile of junk blocking your way.
You'll charge nothing! It's ridiculous! Not a simple cannot bet to share our views. It's on my side!
Now Gracie was on the top floor. Get on up there and persuade her to give you that override key.
Why do you run from the ice?
The baby snatcher's headed up into the hotel, family. He wants me so he can get to Eleanor. Tin Daddy feels no guilt. Tin Daddy feels no pain. But we are the family and we can teach him how.
Try that at once. Picking through the trash. Huh.
Watching you hurt shouldn't give me such a lift, monster. But I'm not as clean on the inside as the doctor. I'll take my joy where I can.
Hello? read our pamphlets.
Blood divides us, monster. It's blood that makes us strangers. But thanks to Dr. Lamb, we're all family now. One people, one cause. You can stop this heart bleed, this old body, but you cannot end the family. And as for you, Tin Daddy, you're dying alone.
Now, I'm a modest man, but my piecemeal needle scam's an outright masterpiece. Some slob shacked up here buys a box of syringe parts from me for twice what it's worth. He assembles them in his rat hole, and I buy back the finished product for a dime against the dollar that I'll get from Ryan. Profit coming, profit going. Old Andy rambles on about the great chain. I got people shelling out to pull it for me.
Andrew Ryan told me that in Rapture, it didn't matter where you came from. Bunk! Times got hard and all our old bigotries bubbled right back up. But Dr. Lamb showed us that down under the skin, down under the money, down under our very name, we are family.
Welcome to the circus of failure.
Gracie's room is just up ahead. Now, she's been sending all manner of unkindness your way, so I'm not particular as to how you take that key away from her, but she's old, and this grudge against you was based on a misunderstanding.
Bounces off the glass as I watch. I fold these paper effigies as secret badges for the faithful. The Morpho caterpillar doesn't spin a cocoon. It just grows armor on the inside before the change. It is us. To wear a butterfly is to support Dr. Lamb and the family.